Hey guys, in this second presentation about SketchUp, I will show you how to make a cut construction. So you open your SketchUp model you made in the first part, and it will look like this one. This is where we finished with the double post construction. Now we want this wall as a cut construction. So what we can do is we select all the bales here, except the first row, which we'll leave inside, and delete it. Yeah. And then we delete also the double post constructions. And we, in fact, can delete these two bales so that we have one bale here and the top plate, or doesn't matter if it's there or if you do it afterwards. But it should look like this one. So you have one double post construction of this wall and one bale. And now we start to add our cut construction. So the cut cut post, for example, is 4 by 18. Sorry. So we make a square here in the direction you want it. So it will be placed here beside the bale. So it will have this kind of direction, and you type in 0.04 and 0.18. So I did it in the wrong direction, 0.18 and 0.04. So I have here a cut post. I will go to my arrow. I select this square which I made, or rectangle which I made, and I make a component out of it, and I call that cut construction or cut post, as it is a cut post, and replace the selection with the component. So I have here a cut post. Let's look a little bit closer, and we color that in a different color as your posts, so that it's already visible, even if it's the same wood you would use for this, but it's visible for your clients or others. There is a cut construction. So I color that with another brown, but I have to open the component. Yeah. So and then I can color the surface with my paint bucket. Okay, so you have your rectangle in the size of your post, and now we place this rectangle directly on our base plate, on top of our base plate, like that, somewhere, doesn't matter. And now I show you another possibility, because when we are in a construction, we want the same height or the same dimension of another building part. Then you can just double click this to open the component. So what you want to do is to make the same length or height of your post as this post here, or as the double post. So you go on the surface until you see these dots and put it to one of these corners. You can adjust it to the endpoint of this, or directly under your top plate, for example, and then you have the same size, exactly the same size. This is how to adjust a dimension according to what is already in the model. And all we have to do now is take this point and place it, in this case here, beside. It's always good to enlarge our system so that this is clearer. But we don't want the cut post on the side of the bale. We want it in half of our cut construction. So 2 centimeters should go in the bale. It should compress the bale. So when you really zoom in, then you see here's an endpoint and here's an endpoint of my post. And in the middle, you have the midpoint. So you take the midpoint in this case and move it so that it's partly in your bale, half in your bale, 2 centimeters in your bale. This is what you do next. And when you have done that, then you will see, depending on how you look at it, that both surfaces, the one surface of the bale are sometimes visible and sometimes your post is visible because this interconnect these two surfaces. So what we need is to cut out the bale. In this case, we will, in reality, we will compress the bale with the cut post, fill it in so that it's on this part compressed, and will make it continuous surface on the in front and the inside. So what we need is always first, when you work with a bale or with a element, a component which is in your model several times, you have to make it unique. Then you open this this element, in this case the stroke bale, and you take the a line and make here along this line here from intersection or from and until the end point, you will make a line. So when I look at it and I go to the push-pull, then I see I have here two different surfaces. If you don't have these two different surfaces, then you have to delete the line and make a new line, because then you are not on the end point on the cross section of your outer lines here. So you need to adjust really to the corner, that you have a closed two closed surfaces, so that you can move this, cut out your bale in this case. And all we have to do is cut it out until this end of your cut post. So it's not visible now, and I show you now another with the right click on your mouse, you can hide an element, for example, this post. So you just hide it temporarily, and you can, so what we did is we cut out here our bale on this side. And if you go to edit and unhide it, you can choose if you want just to unhide the last or all. In this case, I doesn't matter, but it's the last one. So I have my post here again. Next step is making the cut batten. We have a batten to fix the bales in our construction. And the batten is 2.5 by 2.5 centimeters. So in meters, this would be 0.025. Yeah. So what we do in the same color is to make a batten in the length here. It will be on top of your bale. So you make a square on the floor, any kind of size, and you type in 0.25 and 0.025. Okay, this was the dimension of the cut post. So in the length, naturally, you can make it longer. So in fact, we can do it 0.025, and the length is 2 meters or whatever. Yeah. So because this is the base of your cut pattern. And then we color it with the same color as in the cut construction, so that we know that this is, we have to open our, no, it's not the component, so we can color it. So we color it and we make a component. So for making a component, you need to draw a square with the arrow around it, select everything, and right click and make a component. And we say this is the cut batten. strip or whatever. It's a piece of wood. Yeah. So then we need the, now we have a 2D dimension, two-dimensional cut pattern. We need to add the third dimension. We open this one and we push pull it for 2.5 centimeters. So 0.025 high. And then we have our cut pattern. We close it by just clicking outside, and we have our cut pattern here, which we can enter in our construction. So in this case, I just go to the move, take it somewhere and place it here on top of my cut construction like that. It's already in where it should belong to, but you can also move it on, oops, you can move it on top of that. Yeah, like that. But at the end, we want it in our construction like this. So we want to cut out our bale for this 2.5 by 2.5 centimeters. Yeah. So that it's again visible. In reality, we really cut out the surface here, the surface of the bale, with an angle grinder, with a chainsaw, round chainsaw, or with a cutter or alligator or something like that. So to cut out the bale here for this notch, it's best to hide these both elements here. You just hide it, and then you see your bale. And what you do is you open your unique element, the straw bale, and add a square, which is 2.5 by 2.5 centimeter here on the surface. So I type in again 0.025 and 0.025, like that. So I have here a square, which is exactly in the size I needed to cut out this notch. And all I have to do now is push-pull this one to the back. So you see that it doesn't go more, yeah, because you have here a surface, so it will be stuck by this surface. But if you do it again, then you can cut it to the end, and you see the offset limit in this case. So you made a notch in your bale, and you can go to edit and unhide all, and then you have your batten inserted in your bale. So what we want is to move this bale, this batten to the end, like that. So I have here the batten. I have a cut post. This is the main principle of a cut wall. This batten will fix the bale here so that it cannot jump out or jump in, whether I have a diagonal bracing or a board outside or not, or directly plaster it. So in fact, we need to connect these, as you see, our double post construction is 14 and our cut post is 18. So what we need is we need to delete this double post and copy and paste our, better to view it from the outside, our cut post here on the end. Of our, and what we do then is cutting out the second side of your bale in the same way. So you make it big as possible. You go to your move and you select the midpoint and move it in half of your bale. You open your component by double clicking it. You make a line here in your, from this line to the endpoint until you see that you have two surfaces. And I move back the surface of in front here to this end of the post. So I cut out the second part, and all I have to do as a last step here is to move the whole construction. So the bale, I will select the bale, shift, task, shift, this post, and the batten, and move it with the move tool to our construction here, to our double post construction. And then I can take the bale and this one, copy and paste, and move this corner here to the second, and do it again, and move this corner here, not this one, I want this one, and move it. So in fact, this is like a cut construction now, where on the outside the cut posts are visible, but on the inside you have a continuous layer of straw bales, differently as with the double post construction. And all you need to do is to make your cut batten longer. So you can select your cut post. And if you cannot select your cut post, hide this bale temporarily. No, this was the wrong one. And then I went to hide this bale, so that I have access to my cut batten, double click it to open the element, and make it as long as our cut construction here. And I know, if you already know, that it needs to extend it for 3 centimeters. So I have here a distance of 0.42, which I enlarged my batten and make it longer for 42 centimeters. And I need an overhang of 3 centimeters, so I will type in 0.45 instead of 0.42, and then I have a 3 centimeter overhang of my batten. I unhide everything. Also, I have here as I do it really in reality, I will have this overhang here with my batten. And then you can just fill your wall by selecting the 3 bales here with the cut batten and placing it on top of your so this is how we build this wall, yeah. Naturally, you could finish it up and on top there will not be a cut batten usually to hold it, because we squeeze it between the top plate and the, but anyhow, this is how also in reality your cut wall looks like. With the cut battens and the whenever you do, and the double post system, whenever you do a window here, we recommend that you make the same construction in your cut wall. So a double post or a single post, which is 6 by 36, similar as your top and base plates, to make a segment in your cut wall with this construction. So it's not recommended to make, except you want to round the base. So if I would make a window here with a windowsill, I need to round up these corners here, which I also could do with the arc or 2-point arc, in this case the arc. But this is another topic. You made your cut construction and you're ready for the next session. I will stop this, and yeah, then in the next lesson you focus on shading, and then we focus on the presentation. Okay, thank you for watching. See you next time.